Let's also, okay, let me just pull up an example um, of a strong campaign. Um, Dali lang. Give me a second. These three girls, I think these are okay. This is a blog post that I posted, I think, in 2021. Um, Let me just put it on the chat box. Para lang, and this is, this is a very, for me, a very key piece of information that every pageant girl should study with regards to the campaign of Catriona, Alaiza, and Samantha Bernardo. Because among the pageant girls that we have had the pleasure to observe, these three girls, yung namumugtanging examples of what a very strong pageant campaign is. Regardless of the outcome, whether you're first runner up, you're winner, or you only ended up at top 16, their campaigns is flawless. Okay, now let's take in muna yung kay Catriona. Ano yung key takeaways natin doon sa campaign ni Catriona? Why it was a strong campaign? One, she utilized video content um, in her campaign, and this is very important because nowadays the algorithm of Facebook and Instagram is it has certain biases for videos. That is why reels and videos get more engagement, get more reach because the algorithm of Instagram and Facebook make it so. And Catriona was way ahead of everybody else in terms of video content because she allowed herself to understand yung kultura na nire-represent niya and used video content to to cover a certain weakness in her pageant journey. And you know what I mean. Catriona, when she came in here, everybody is thinking that another halfie yan, just another halfie. And she probably does not know much about our culture. And that criticism actually made Catriona think of a way, of a game plan na magawa niya ng paraan na makover niya yung area, weak area na yon. And that is why she immersed herself sa kultura ng Pinoy, ng Pilipinas. She traveled from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, shot video footages there, understand the weaving cultures of the Tiboli. She understood the the dances that was involved in her national costume presentation at Binibining Pilipinas. She understood the culture. She learned the language. Kahit na noon kapag we were having these secret meetings with her, even if balubaluktot pa yung the way that she speaks Tagalog, she makes an effort. And that is that is a good mark of a leader, of what a leader is. Tinitignan niya, ina-assess niya kung ano yung areas na weak siya, and hindi niya dinidibdib yon. She doesn't take she is not emotional whenever she assesses the areas that she needs to work on, and uses different platforms to how do you call this, to cover that weak point. Now, another thing that kahit na anong sabihin natin na, Paula Sugar said, advocacy is not important, but look at the top two winners of Miss Universe this year. They have advocacies. They have something to stand for. That's why it's important to have an advocacy, or at least a social responsibility project that you can be proud of. Something that you have done outside of pageantry before you compete, because it makes that even more potent. It makes that even more important and essential and powerful because it was built before you competed for a crown. It makes it more authentic in feel because it was something that you took initiative on, and that is very powerful because it allows the organization to think that this girl is standing for something other than herself. Now, another thing that Catriona did very well throughout her campaign is that every move that she makes is purposeful. From her lava gown, from her choice of ear cuff, from her choice of daily wardrobe in her Miss Universe journey, everything was a communicative piece. Everything was a communication of who she is and what she represents. Because again, it all stems out from the criticism that being a halfie, you're never Filipino enough. And that is a bullshit criticism, because you cannot really say that you are a Filipino if you don't make an effort to understand the culture, the country, the traditions that you're supposedly representing. If you don't take an initiative to immerse yourself to the language or to the culture, then that is a weak area that you need to work on ASAP. Okay, and that is why every move that Catriona made during Binibining Pilipinas or during the Miss Universe pageant, every move, every piece of wardrobe has a purpose. Okay, now when it comes to Alaiza, Alaiza stands out, bar none, to any other national pageant girl who competed at the national level because of her grassroots journey to Miss Universe Philippines. She was very authentic. She was not ashamed to use, the language that she is comfortable with in the national stage. She was never ashamed of who she is in her humble beginnings. Hindi niya ikinahihiya na lumaki siya sa farm, na lumaki siya sa hirap. That her background is not as fabulous as everybody else's. Hindi niya ikinahiya yon. She proudly branded herself as Inday Alaiza. And that, that kind of authenticity, you'd rarely get that in any pageant girl nowadays. Yung ganung klaseng, this is me, and I'm unapologetic for my roots, for where I came from. That is, a standout thing to do in a pageant where everybody else is trying to portray themselves with their best foot forward. With Alaiza, she was unashamed, she was unapologetic to call herself a provinciana. And one thing more is that her tone of voice on her social media, she was very communicative. She was very engaging. Nakikipagbiruan siya on her social media. She allowed people to come in and understand her perspective. And that is and she used social media in a way that um, she gathered more fans to support her. And in that year, in 2022, bihira yung masasabi mong pageant girl na halos walang anti-fans. Halos walang nagtotroll sa feed niya. And that is a very rare, very rare thing to happen, because Liza was authentic. That is the best example of what authenticity looks like and feels like, because she did not only tell, she also showed. And she showed in various platforms, whether it's her jeepney na bag, whether it's her speaking Bisaya in national, at the nationals level, whether it's her social media that portrays what is it like doon sa life sa farm. That was a very well thought campaign. And I think any pageant girl would have to study her and what she had done in her social media, as an example of what a social media campaign should look like. And then, of course, we have Samantha Bernardo, who, despite having very in your face na glamour for her Miss Grand International campaign, she tailor fit yung fashion na yon doon sa needs based on her and the pageant's needs. Hindi siya yung tipong copycat lang ng kung ano mga ginawa ni Catriona, ginawa ni Pia, or ginawa ng ibang mga other national title holders. Hindi niya kinopia per se. She took lessons from what are the campaigns that were very successful and tailor fit it to her needs. And that is something that every pageant girl should learn from. And I think valid din yung criticism ng mga Filipino on Anna's Wengam Ayam, because you need to, if you're going to copy from someone, you need to make sure that what you copy are the things that could fit into what you need, and personalize it for yourself, and make sure that the outcome is more you than the inspiration that it came from. Another thing is that Samantha never let up on the showmanship and the performance. Never siyang nag-pull back. If kinakailangan magbigay siya ng 100%, she's gonna give you 110% just to make sure that all bases is covered. And she was not wasteful of any opportunity that came in her way. Kapag may opportunity na mag-shine siya on camera, she uses that opportunity and make sure that eyes on the camera, hindi yung kung saan-saan nakatingin. Kapag nag-on na yung red light sa camera, nakatingin siya doon, alam niya kung saan siya iikot, saan siya magpo-post, saan siya titigil, saan siya maglalakad. And that is not wasting any opportunity on camera for a performance, so that you are able to build a very wow na showmanship for your performance. And I think these three girls, they are the standard of what a pageant campaign should look like, because lahat ng mga examples na to, they are very easy to copy, and they are Filipinas. Madali silang i-reach out and kausapin na, Ate Sam, baka naman pwede mo akong bigyan ng tips on how you did this, that, or reach out to to your campmates who has access to maybe Alaiza, or when you are a binibini candidate, when Catriona is there, giving you tips. Be involved. Don't waste those opportunities to learn from these girls, because you're not guaranteed another face-to-face with them. So make the most out of every opportunity that is presented to you. And I think that is one of the things na should have been ours to master, because all of these examples, they are all Filipina girls. So there is no reason for us na tayo pa yung nag-fail on these aspects, because we have three girls here who have very solid campaigns, and whether they won, they didn't make top 5, or they didn't win the crown, wala kang maipintas doon sa kanilang mga pageant campaigns. So there was no opportunity lost. In fact, everything that they've done was a step up for growth.